Good morning, students. Today we are going to take up a new chapter. The name of the chapter is Deep Water, and the author is William O. Douglas. Now, we have to know a little about the author himself because this is an excerpt from his autobiography. That is, this chapter is a portion taken from the autobiography of William Douglas. Now, William Douglas is a legendary figure. If you Google his name, you will get a lot of information about him. As written here in your textbook itself, let us read something about him. William Douglas was born in the year 1898 and was born in Minnesota. After graduating with a Bachelor's of Arts in English and Economics, he spent 2 years teaching high school in Yakima. However, he got tired of this and decided to pursue a legal career. He met Franklin D. Roosevelt at Yale and became an advisor and friend to the president. Roosevelt was the president of the USA. Yes. Douglas was a leading advocate of individual rights. He retired in 1975 with a term lasting 36 years. He served as a justice for 36 years and he remains the longest serving justice in the history of the court. And as I told you, this following excerpt is taken from Of Men and Mountains. So what was the name of his autobiographical account? The book was named Of Men and Mountains. It reveals how, as a young boy, William Douglas nearly drowned in a swimming pool. In this essay, he talks about his fear of water and thereafter how he finally overcame it. So it is not just an inspiring story, it is also something that you have a lot to learn from. Now, we shall read something that I found on Google. I found this on www.ois.org, and it says about William that he was a determined and competitive boy in nature. And as already mentioned in your textbook, he set the record for longest continuous service on the Supreme Court. He was born in Minnesota and he was the second of 3 children. In 1901, Douglas was stricken with polio that proved nearly fatal. And shortly after his father's death, they moved to Yakima, Washington. The story that we will read today, that is based there. Douglas spent most of his youth here, that is in Yakima, Washington. Though the family struggled financially, Julia, that is his mother, enrolled the children in Yakima High School, a highly competitive environment in which Douglas thrived. He was described by his peers, that is by his friends, as a shy boy. But however, he was quite active in high school. So today, the story that we will read tells us of the incident when he was in school. The story you'll have to read on your own. All I can do is I can read the main points of it. Yes. Here, I am going to share this document with you as well. Deep Water by William Douglas. The theme is about his fear of water and how he finally overcomes it by his courage, determination, hard work. This will be hard work, strong willpower, perseverance, and the desire to learn. If these are practiced, we can definitely achieve success in all our endeavors. So, this is a story with a lesson for all of us. Let me tell you the gist of the story. So, William Douglas, he has done a lot of things in his life, and that is why so many autobiographies also. But this one particularly deals with how he was very scared of water. So, how this fear of water actually cropped up in him and how he dealt with it. So, William O. Douglas had a desire to learn swimming since childhood. Since childhood, he wanted to learn how to swim. And at the age of 3 or 4, he was knocked down and buried by a wave at a beach in California. Although he wanted to learn how to swim, he faced an incident related to water early in his life. When he was only 3 or 4 years old, he went to the California beach with his father, and there he was knocked off by a wave. A strong wave came and hit the child, and as a child, he just fell down and he was buried in water for some few seconds. And there he developed a great aversion to water because that was his first experience with water, which did not come out, which did not prove to be very good or pleasant one. But still, at the age of 10 or 11, at the age of 10 or 11, he decided to learn to swim with water wings at the YMCA pool. You know what is the full form of YMCA? Google it. It is a very famous institution there, a Young Men's Christian Association. Okay, so they provided swimming classes also. So he decided to go there and learn how to swim. But again, a misadventure happened. While he was sitting alone and he was waiting for others to come at the YMCA pool, a big boy came from somewhere, a muscular boy, and he picked up Douglas and he tossed him into the water in the deep end of the pool. Pool had a gradual depth. So, at the very beginning, the water was not very deep, it was shallow. And at the deep end, yes, the water was quite deep. And there, Douglas started his struggle because Douglas was there to learn how to swim. He did not know how to swim. So, he faced this major misadventure. Douglas swallowed water and went straight down to the bottom of the pool. While he was going down, he planned that when he hits the bottom of the pool, he is going to make a big jump and, like a cork, he would come floating to the surface. That was his idea in his head. But that did not happen. As he went down the pool, he jumped, but obviously he couldn't pop up like a cork. That's not how it works, and he was not aware of it because he was not a swimmer. Stark terror seized him. So he was terrorized. He wanted to shout for help, but underwater you cannot. So the terror held him deeper and deeper. He was going up and down. He was trying to come up, but he was going down and down under the water. And after a lot of struggle, what would start happening? Of course, the oxygen supply, it was shortening, and light was going out. And ultimately, there was no more panic. When you say there was no more panic, it is not actually a positive thing. It's a bad thing that's happening to him. He's losing consciousness. So what happened? He was making a lot of efforts. He was trying to come up, but at one point of time he became unconscious and he crossed to oblivion. That is, he became unconscious. After that, what he remembers is that he was revived beside the pool. He was lying there and vomiting out water. He was still in grip of fear. We'll come later to this point. But when he was on the side of the pool, do you know what that boy said who threw him into the pool? He actually thought that this boy perhaps knows how to swim, so he did not intentionally wanted to drown Douglas. He just threw him in jest, but it could have proven fatal for him. Anyway, he was revived, but still he now had this deep-seated terror and fear of water in his heart. But when he grew older and older, he realized that the fear of water is depriving him of the joys of canoeing, boating, swimming, and fishing. All his friends would go out for fishing, for adventures in the water like canoeing, boating, but for him it was all too it was a terror for him to go and step in into the water. It was all too challenging for him to do that, so he used to miss all these joys along with his friends. But he thought that this cannot go on, so he decided to hire an instructor to learn swimming. See, this is where we make changes. If we are suffering from something, we have to deal with it. We do not just passively accept it. He could have accepted it that yes, okay, I am scared of water. I am going to deprive myself of certain joys which are related to water, and that's no big deal. But he decided against it because it's a fear that he needs to get rid of. So he hired an instructor to learn how to swim. The instructor taught him swimming piece by piece. This is a very important thing in the chapter, and it is a very recurring question that how did the instructor teach him. Now, when you will read the story, you will see that the instructor made small little plans for him every day. He had certain exercises that he wanted Douglas to do. On one particular day, he would ask Douglas to walk through the water only while he held him with the help of a rope and a pulley, so that the fear of drowning is not at all there. At times, he would like Douglas to sit there on the side of the pool and just flap his feet so that his feet is ready. So he did not ask him to go in the water, ask him to go into the water and start swimming or practice swimming. He taught him bit by bit hand movements, leg movements, how he made him adapt to the water by making him walk through the swimming pool. So he made a swimmer piece by piece, not at one go. Then what happened? Douglas, he went to different lakes to swim, and still, whenever he used to enter a lake or a water body, he found tiny vestiges of fear still gripping him. You know, something which still remains there, although you know that you know how to swim now and the chances of drowning are very less, but still, little fear somehow came to him, somehow cropped up. Then he challenged that fear and he swam. Swimming up and down the warm lake, he finally overcame his fear of water. Initially, he used to go to small lakes, but then he realized that I have to take a bigger challenge. And you will see that he took the biggest challenge that he could take and swam across the length of the lake to reach the other side. He realized that in death there is peace and there is terror only in the fear of death. Death ends it all. But what is actually very difficult for us is to face the fear of death. So he had to overcome the fear. So will to live is stronger than fear of death. For him, he realized that he only needs to fear one thing, and that is fear itself. He doesn't need to fear anything else. So that is the story. In a, I have summarized it for you in a short length of I think 2-3 minutes. That's all I could tell you. But the real task is for you to read the story. If you go through the story word by word, then only you will be able to solve the MCQs, which are now a part of your revised syllabus. They may give you one portion or 2-3 lines from the text, and they can ask you about the context, about who is saying these words, to whom are these words being said, and why. These kind of contextual questions will be asked to you. So you have to make sure that you read all the stories by yourself. Watching videos and reading summaries will not do. So that's it. Now take out your textbooks and go through the chapter. Whatever you do not understand, feel free to call me. I am there to help you read the chapter. Thank you.